Hello friends and lovers, welcome back. This video is going to be a quick and dirty guide on how to exactly get all of the hidden aspects added in the Unseen update, and also how to unlock the Rivals Vow from the Oath of the Unseen. I won't be showing any footage of the aspects in order to avoid spoilers for the people that really care. You can always check out some other videos on my channel if you want to see them in action. Anyway, let's get down to business. You're going to see a pattern here where in order to unlock any of the hidden aspects, you need to have already unlocked all of the weapons and have at least one aspect from each weapon at rank 5. You also cannot get more than one waking phrase at a time per run, so you need to go turn in and reveal a hidden aspect before you can get another waking phrase from another NPC. Just to clarify, you don't need to be using any particular weapon or aspect when you run into these NPCs, it just doesn't matter. For the staff, you're going to need to go talk to Cersei on the surface, and again, you just need to have all the weapons unlocked, at least one staff aspect at rank 5, and have no other waking phrases waiting to be turned in when you reach her in order for her to offer the dialogue. However, dialogues have priority, so it's possible that you need to explore more dialogue with Cersei before she can offer you the waking phrase, even if you have all the other requirements met. So it's possible you will have to see her or any of the NPCs that unlock the hidden aspects multiple times. For the dagger hidden aspect, you're going to need to see Artemis, and you can get her encounter in either the surface or the underworld, but keep in mind she will not appear in an encounter unless the reward does not have a menu. So for instance, Artemis will not appear in chambers where the reward is a palm or a boon. Artemis took me 2 trips in order to get the waking phrase from her, whereas most of the other NPCs only took 1. For the torches, you just need to talk to Moros back at the crossroads, but Moros does have a lot of dialogue, and again, you can't have any of the waking phrases waiting to get turned in, and you cannot have just turned in a waking phrase on that same run. At worst, you can just go take a death and run back through the crossroads in order to farm the dialogue with him. One special thing about the torch hidden aspect is actually that it cannot be the first hidden aspect that you unlock, so you will need to have gotten at least one other one before Moros will give you the dialogue. For the axe, you need to talk to Charon in the middle of a run, not in the crossroads, and it's the same requirements as everything else. I actually had to go through a few runs because I kept getting waking phrases before I saw Charon in a shop. For Rival, you're going to need to visit Medea on the surface, and this one's kind of tricky just because Medea's chamber's not always offered on the surface, right? But you can always take a death or re-roll the seed if you do not see it as soon as you enter the bigger overworld of Athera. Again, some dialogue might take a priority, especially if you're unlocking the Vow of Rivals right now. Medea might want to talk about that instead first, and you'll have to go back multiple times. Lastly, we have Selene, which has a couple more extra conditions here, so you need to run into Selene in the middle of a run. In other words, get a hex from her in order to get the waking phrase, and she will not have that exclamation point bubble over her in order to indicate that you are getting the waking phrase per se. But she does have mostly the same requirements. You need all the weapons unlocked, an aspect of the code at rank 5, no other waking phrases, but you also cannot get it if you are getting Selene from a shop or from a pre-boss reward chamber. The pre-boss reward chamber is that last chamber right before a boss where you get an item for free instead of visiting the shop. This is most likely to just prevent it from kind of jumbling up with other shop dialogue or getting mixed up with Charon's waking phrase. Alright, next up we're talking about how to unlock the Vow of Rivals for the Oath of the Unseen. This is the equivalent of extreme measures from Hades 1. And big thanks to Mininet in our Discord and a fellow Hades content creator for us here for giving me the information for this one. Each point of the Vow of Rivals must be unlocked via an incantation. In order to get the incantation, you will need to kill certain bosses, basically, and have a couple of interactions with the different NPCs. For the first point of the Vow of Rivals, you'll need to have killed Hecate twice and Polyphemus at least once. And then the next time that you visit her, you need to have at least 1 point of fear on, and then she should give you the voice line that gives you the incantation. For the second point, you'll need to go and beat rival Hecate and rival Polyphemus, as well as having seen Charybdis at some point in any run. You also need to go and beat Scylla and Eris 3 times each. For the third point, and you'll probably see a pattern here, you'll need to go defeat rival Scylla and rival Eris, as well as having beaten Cerberus and Prometheus at least 3 times each. And for the final point, you'll need to beat rival Cerberus and rival Prometheus, as well as having defeated Kronos and Typhon 3 times each. And that's it for my quickie unlock video. I hope you found it useful. If you got any questions, make sure you let me know down in the comments. If you want more content around Hades and Hades 2, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, you know all that crap that we asked for. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in another video.